Welcome everyone to Team Time. My lighting is wonderful. I have like this nice white complexion like I could be in Alaska also. Um, but welcome to Team Time. I just got off the Darren Hardy videos. Who has been watching those Darren Hardy videos?
Me.
They are amazing. They really are. I mean, he kind of just puts it in your face and says, okay, let me help this out.
I think I'm screwing you up. I'm gonna mute myself.
There we go. All right, everybody is muted now. Anyways, he just kind of puts it in your face like saying, hey, you're addicted and do something about it. And it's a lot with media, social media, and I can tell you while I was watching that, I had the national college football game on my phone. I had Craigslist over here going on, and I had him over here. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll start shutting things down. I pushed record on the national championship game, so nobody better say a thing. And then tried to focus just on that. But it's so hard. You get pulled around so many times. So one of the things that before I even got to watch the Darren Hardy video today, one of the things that I have been really stressing a lot to people, because a lot of you guys are not full-time in Optavia. Maybe you are retired, or maybe you want to be retired. Maybe you work, or maybe you stay at home anyways, and so you feel like you should be able to be retired. But if you're a mom, you're never retired. So you guys most of us have to work this business in it's not a full-time business, but you have to work it in the nooks and crannies, as we always say with Heidi's life, and the nooks and crannies of your life. And if you get sucked in to your phone all day long, you're gonna feel like you're working a 40-hour job, even though all you're doing is looking at your phone all day long. So one of the things that I know a couple of people on here, and I brought this up to both groups. Heidi did her group and I did on my group, about asking people who is doing really good doing the 3, 3, and 3 and being intentional. So they're doing it and getting off and getting it done. So we had 2 people that are moving in their business. Both of them are doing amazing in their business, and we wanted to recognize them, but we also wanted to have them actually show us what they do to actually go through their day. Like I don't know if they've already done it for the day or not, but go through their day of how do they do a 3, 3, and 3. And if you were gonna exercise more of that and do a 5, 5, and 5 or a 10, 10, and 10, you just gotta take what they're doing here with the 3, 3, and 3 and multiply it by 2 or 3 or whatever it is that you wanna do. If you wanna move this business fast, you know what, 3, 3, and 3 is it's gonna get you where you wanna go eventually. If you wanna get there this month or next month or wherever, you're gonna have to put in the extra effort in order to get it to that point. So when we talk about a 3, 3, and 3, a lot of you guys might be new. Who knows what I'm talking about when I say 3, 3, and 3? Deb, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Okay, I kind of figured you probably are kind of newer on the page here. It's going to get explained, but what it is kind of a social media blitz, if you want to call it. Okay, you're going to add 3 friends, add 3 new people onto your social media a day. You're going to start conversations with 3 new people a day. You're going to comment on 3 people's posts a day, and then you're going to post 3 times a day. So there's actually like 4 3s there if you ask me, but they always just say 3, 3, and 3. But there's really 4 if you ask me. So Autumn and Chrissy are our professionals today. So I am going to just kind of come off here, and they're gonna let us know what they do, because I think there's some vital steps that a lot of us are missing. That when I was talking to Autumn earlier today, she's like, well, of course you have to do this. And I'm like, well, a lot of people don't, because you know what? That's one of the things that I've missed a lot of times, but I know when I do it, it's functional. So anyways, Autumn, I'll let you go first, and Chrissy, we'll have you go right afterwards. Does that sound great?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yes, that sounds good.
All right.
So with the 3, 3, and 3, I just kind of wanted to kind of show you what I do. So this is going to be the first time I've actually tried to share my screen. Oh, there it is. And I wanted to kind of let you know how I go about it. So what I actually do is I set up my 3, 3, 3 the day before. So what I do is I go ahead and I go into here and I'll start a draft of some sort. Well, I actually do it on my phone, and that's where I can save it. So I do it on my phone. I do either a transformational, an inspirational, a personal, or I like to add a fourth one like Hiram, and an interactive one. And so I will put something in here, either a photo or an update or something, and then I'll save it. And does it give you an option? No, it doesn't give you an option in here, but on your phone, it does. When you try to exit out of the post that you start, it gives you an option to save your draft. And so when you save your draft, you can just then it saves it for 3 days, I think. You can go back to it and post it at any time. So if we go to my page, you can kind of see that, I have an inspirational one right here. Here's an interactive one to get people to comment and kind of give their things, a transformational, and then it's my son's birthday today, so a personal one. So it's just, and then spacing them out kind of like with your fuelings, every 2 to 3 hours. And so I always just have my next post queued for me. And then when I go and message people, I tend to, if you don't already, I would make a list of people that you're wanting to contact that you think would be either good clients, that this program would be good for them or something. And then you go through that list each day, whether you're doing a 3, 3, 3 or 5, 5, 5 or a 10, 10, 10. You go through and you just, I always jump over to their page. So this is someone that I was going to message today. I always jump over to their page and I kind of see what's going on in their life. And I can't remember who did this. I think it was Dan Valentine. Maybe I got the name right. And you just kind of see what's going on in their life. And so I saw from this comment right here that she's going to be a nurse next year. And I remembered, oh yeah, she's going to nursing school. So I would go up here and I'd hit message and I would just, message her about, hey, Amber, I know that you're in school. I know things are crazy. We haven't talked in a little bit. How is life going for you? We went to high school together. So that's how I would kind of start a conversation with her. And then the other 3 is adding 3 new friends. And if you go to your homepage, there's always a suggested friends list that they have right here. And I always click see all. And then you're able to, someone actually requested to be my friend. So I'll confirm that. But then you can also go through and add people that you have mutual friends with. And you can even hover over and see the mutual friends list that you have with them. And so you just go through and you add however many people you want during that day. But I know that on my phone, I'm able to enjoy saving those drafts. So you can save multiple drafts actually. And so I can set up my whole day for the next day of what posts I want to do. And then I can just go in and hit post when the following day. So it's kind of a planner thing at the end of the day that I end up doing. So that's what I have.
All right. So one of the key things that I think she was going off there for me is that she actually has a list. Okay. I want to see a raise of hands. Who has a list that you work off of? Okay. When she said that, I don't think she realizes that a lot of us don't actually do that list. But she just said, "Oh, of course you have a list that you work on." When she said that this afternoon, I said, "You know what? I know a lot of people don't have a list." And I know that that's one of the first things that you're asked to, or not asked, but suggested that you do is you make a list of 20 people or 30 people. Do you have that list? And it doesn't have to be all your fat friends. It doesn't have to be, and you don't want to have it that. You want it to have it of the people that are on your heart, because we are not just a healthy body program here. We are here to help every single person that's out there. Really, there is something that we can help with every single person. So you want to make sure that you have on that list the people that are on your heart. Who here has a list now? Let's raise that hand again real quick. I don't have a list right now. But you know what? I can tell you that the people that have their hand up right now are the people that are going to be moving. So I would encourage you strongly that if this is something that you want to do and you want to grow your business right now, make sure that you get that list going so that you have those things. I can tell you that when we were really growing our business at the very beginning, we had a list all the time. And then with that list, you can check mark who you've talked to and if they've followed up with you. What do you use for your follow-up Friday? You need something to know who you need to follow up with. If you don't, you're just going to be, you're going to be lost. You're not going to have that roadmap that gets you there. So Autumn, thank you so much. It can be that fast. It can really be as fast as she put it on there. I love the saved drafts. Who knew? I didn't know that today. I seriously did not know that. I knew that there was programs out there that you could save, or you could do like a week's worth of drafts, and they would just do it when you wanted them to. Well, that has been shut down now. I did not know that you could do drafts for up to 3 days. You just still have to push the post button, but it's there. I love that. I love that. I did not know that, and that's something new to me also. All right, Chrissy. We're going to double up, and it's probably going to be a lot of the same, but I just wanted to get two different views of what people are doing, and I would like to see the whole thing of what you do. So Chrissy, it is all yours.
I live on a college campus, so my internet decides sometimes to go out, and it's been snowing like crazy, so if it goes out, I'm so sorry. I jumped from my phone, so hopefully it'll just play on my data. But we'll see. We'll see. I have a list as well. Last month I made the decision after doing the 3, 3, and 3 and just like not feeling like I was really connecting with people to make a list of 100 people. So I used the back of my map. So this is the front of my map. And these sticky notes on the back of my map are the 100 people that I can cross off. And I took a picture on my phone because I'm often not at my house, so that I have it with me wherever I go, so that I can reference it either way and check it off at the end of the day. But I made the goal last month to contact all 100 people within the first 10 days of the month, which meant that I contacted 10 people from that list a day. And that proved to be awesome. Most of the conversations that I started had nothing to do with Optavia, but oftentimes the conversation would turn into like, oh my gosh, I've seen your post too, or like, you're so inspirational, thanks for sharing. And I was like, wait, you're watching? Like, I had no idea. Or just finding the opportunity to share. The other thing that I decided to do was make the commitment to like add more friends. So oftentimes you can click 3 people and call it good, except for that not all 3 of those people will add you back. And so I just decided to like click like 5 people. And for me, mutual friends doesn't really cut it, because at this point, I mean, if you have like 2 mutual friends with me, that's not a lot of connection, but it works. So I just go through and like, if they have more than 30 mutual friends with me, I'm like, why are we not friends? Like, who are you friends with that I didn't know about? So I add basically everyone that has more than 30 right now. If I get to the point where I need to add less, I will. But just the number of friends that I have on Facebook, 30 seems like a good amount for me right now. But yeah, I asked myself, like, why are we not friends? And then in our cool little tracker that our coaches give us, there are little follow-up and like little questions to ask. But sometimes I was like, I don't know if I should use those. So I created my own Google Doc with my personal, like, written out ways to start a conversation. And so mine just say like, hey, you know, Optavia specific, and I created my own little list of questions. So I can just go to my drive on my phone or my computer and access a copy and paste and like I quickly add a message to them. And then my posts are much like Autumn's. I also save my drafts and often just have them ready to go for the day so that I can just click to like, oh, okay, we're good. Oh, I'll share this one right now. And then sometimes like partway through the day, I'm like, oh, I'll add this one because I'm doing this really cool thing. I love to Google like quotes. So you can do inspirational quotes, you can do health quotes, anything that you want, but Google is my reference, and I just save them and upload them and call it good, write something meaningful, and then just make a commitment to yourself to take the time to make the time to do it. So whatever time you put into it, you'll reap the benefits. The less time you put into it, the less benefits you reap. And that's.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. So actually, Chrissy, you're the one that inspired me to do this post or this meeting, because I know about a month ago, it was before the holiday, you had said that you had made that list of 100 people and that you were so intentional that you did 10 conversations a day and that you were doing your full 3, 3, and 3 or 5, 5, 5. It sounded like you were doing more like 10, 10, and 10, except for not 10 posts a day. But you were the one that inspired me to do this, because that showed me, and I can see your numbers. I can see where you're going and what you're doing. And I saw where you were going. And I was like, holy cow, for one, she needs the recognition for it. And for two, because you've done so well. And for two, this is what we all need to do. We all need to just kind of make that little goal, whatever it is. Okay. My wife did Mary Kay for like just a hair second. I mean, like a few months, because we did the whole like buy $5,000 worth of makeup and store it in our cupboard and never sold it, because that's not how they're made up. They're made to sell makeup kind of, but they're more made to just get a whole bunch of a whole bunch of distributors. And so anyways, she made a goal every day that she would go, like she would, if we were to go to Walmart that day, she would not leave Walmart until she talked to 5 people. Okay, we don't have to do that. We don't have to go up to 5 people and say, hey, I'm a makeup artist and I can help you change your makeup or whatever it is. Okay, but we do still need to create conversation. And so, I mean, Tiana, actually in the 6 months I think she did Mary Kay, she earned her first car in those 6 months. Why? Because she made that goal. She decided what she was going to do and she did it. And she stuck with it. If we do that same type of thing where we decide this is what we want, I'm going to talk to 10 people today, that's what it's going to do. I love that in the end, I'm not just beautifying somebody from the outside, which I am. We get to beautify people from the outside, but it starts on the inside. With what we do, it starts on the inside. We get why they want to do it, and after that, we get to change their outsides along with their insides at the same time. What other thing do you get to do that you get to do both of those things? That's what I love. Jenny, you had your hand up on here. Did you want to ask a question to the professionals? That would be Chrissy and Autumn. Are you still here, Jenny? Can't hear you. Are you with your baby and so you're trying to be quiet? All right, I figured as much. Okay, so I think she probably asked it in earlier about, she was asking where to find the drafts. Is that the question you had, Jenny? Okay, anyways, she's still rocking her baby. All right, so let's open it up real quick though. To everybody on here, what kind of questions do you have regarding contacting new people, opening those up?
I have a question.
Yes, Caroline.
So I'm curious. I add friends that I know. We have mutual friends, and I'm like, oh, I know them. I've met them a long time ago. But how do you start conversations with people that you're like, how are we not friends with? Does that make sense? So you added somebody that you have 30 mutual friends, but how do you start conversation with them if you have no idea how you know them? Does that make sense?
Heidi, go ahead.
Okay, this is awesome because I think when I first started, I thought that too. But I think that's one of the best ways to start a conversation is to say like, hey, how are we not friends yet? We know so many people in common. I was curious, like how sometimes like specific to you, Caroline, sometimes it's like deaf community or like church or like from your single days. And you're like, why do we have friends from each category? Like, who are you? Or you can kind of see where you might know them. Or when friends overlap, then I'm like, well, how do we know so many people? It's just kind of that is the icebreaker. Like, hey, 30 friends in common. Like, how have we not met? Or have we met? Like, and then I've had people in turn when I do add them, they just add you back. They don't care. A lot of people are, oh, we have 30 mutual friends. I'll add you back. And then when they do, I'll drop in and say, hey, thanks so much for adding me. I noticed we have a bunch of friends in common, but I'm not sure if we've ever met. And they'll be like, no, you just look nice. I figured I'd add you, and you're like, well, I am pretty nice. Let me tell you about myself or whatever. And then vice versa. They'll say, do I know you before they add me? And I'm like, no, but we have like 30 friends in common and your profile picture looked pretty friendly. I figured you must be nice. And then they're like, oh yeah, I am. And then we talk about who we might know or how we know them. So that alone is like a good icebreaker.
That's really good. I like that.
I have a comment on that too, just because I was the one that mentioned I do that. I don't actually start conversations right after I add them all the time. Sometimes I'll like go comment on a post or like something of theirs just to show interest in their page. And then in a couple days I'll be like, hey, like I really noticed this, or like I watch them for a week. That sounds really funny, but like a week later I'm like, okay, I got a feel for what they're doing on their Facebook, and then I chat with them. Sometimes I do right away exactly the same thing Heidi said, but other times I just add them so that they'll like look at my profile. Yeah, it's totally a stalker-ish thing. But then I don't generally have a conversation right away just because I want them to like have a minute, because they'll go look at all of my Facebook and they'll be able to see what I'm about, and that'll pique interest, or they'll just, it'll start a conversation. I feel like gives them time rather than like, oh, this person's ready to like sell me something, right? So I tend to avoid starting a conversation right away unless I feel like I do know them or should know them.
Yes. I'm jumping in again. Once you add them, they start to see your posts in their newsfeed. So they're going to be stalking you back too. Like they're going to be, oh yeah, oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm getting to know her. You get to know each other. Scott asked about conversation starters. Anyone got something to say on that?
We have a couple of questions real quick. Cherie, you just put your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question. So something that happened to me was somebody added me. And when they added me, I posted something on my wall that said, if you want to lose weight, you know, the heart thing where you put the colored heart to how many pounds you want to lose. And so they put this person, I had two people put the heart of how much they want to lose. And so then I cheered them on online, and then I gave them a message and said, hey, I can help you. And then they messaged me back and said, I'm already a coach. So how do you, I heard that, I have a two-part question. I heard that you have a limit to how many people you can add for one. And then should we be checking to see if they're already a coach from a different, and not add them? Or because I kind of stalled not adding people.
Jenny, you want to answer that?
Yes, if I may. Because I ran into that problem too, and I started adding all these friends that were friends with Heidi and Tiana, and I was like, wait a second. And then a couple of people actually approached me about coaching, and I was like, yeah, I'm already coach, high five, yay. And then I realized before I add friends, I hover over their name, and then you can see the mutual friends, and if they're mutual friends with all us cool coaches, then I don't add them.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I have to do. Because of my organization. I mean, I could have 100 friends in common or 200 friends in common. I look at it and they're just a coach from another organization, or they're even a coach from my organization that I don't even know. And so you have to, you kind of have to be careful with that, just as you say, Cherie, because if you start commenting on a lot of coaches' comments, that's who you're going to start seeing, is a lot of coaches. So if all you ever do is go and comment on everybody on this screen, that's all you're ever going to see is everybody on this screen. And so you got to be really careful of who you comment to. You want to make sure you're backing each other up a little bit sometimes, but not every day. Don't comment on everything every day, because if you do, that's who you're only going to see. Make sure you're branching out past that. Conversation starters. Heidi, you want to go back to that, or do you want to answer a different?
So for example, right now, I'll say it out loud, and I think you guys know this, but I'll say it anyway. If I don't comment on your post, it's very strategic. I can't, you guys. I can't sometimes, but I will, if it happens to pop in my newsfeed, sometimes jump in and say stuff, because it's really awesome. But on Cherie's thing also, the amount of friends you can add before it stops you from adding, it's like 1,000, 500. It's like 500,000.
Before they accept you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like in your queue of people who haven't accepted, you can have like 500 or 1,000, and that's when it blocks you from adding more. So you can go in, and people who a long time ago maybe never added you, just start deleting them, and it opens up room to request more. So you're not ever really trapped in Gmail. It's like you have a bail.
I didn't even know that. Thank you so much.
You can have a total of 5,000 friends, though.
Yeah, and you probably don't have, I don't know how many friends you have actually, Cherie, but you probably don't have 5,000 yet. You're okay to still add 1,000 or 2,000 more, maybe. Mine's like 4,600, 700. I don't know. I'm getting the point where I'm starting to think in my brain, which coaches do I start deleting? Not from you guys, but you know, like, you do have to think about that. What Hiram said is true, because he's been doing this longer than I have. You got to watch out for those eventually, like what your friends look like. Hey, thankfully you're all my friends.
So we are at 11:01. There was a coach in our organization that went from like 200 friends to 5,000 friends within just a couple of months. She really did. I mean, that was her goal. And now I said, well, you've got all those friends now. Now you have a lot of friends to make, because she just started adding a lot of people. Now she has a lot of friends that she needs to make. And that's what I love. We do need to have conversation starters that aren't like, make it weird. You want to actually, like what Autumn said, go into their page. You know what? In the 3 things that she showed on that one gal's page, she loves animals and she's a nurse. Those 2 things, you could talk to her anything about those miniature pigs or that pit bull or her being in nursing school, and you've got something to talk about right there. So do a little stalking. I'm not trying to say let's stalk like crazy and let's be weird to them, but you know what? Become a friend with that person. Don't get on there and ask them, hey, you're fat, let me help you. Just get on there and be real and be friendly and say, hey, you know what? I used to have a pig. I used to have a pit bull. I'm in nursing school, whatever it is. How can you connect with that person? What things do you have in common that they can do? You can friend other coaches from other businesses and say, hey, you know what? How's that working for you? I'm a coach too. I've had people just ask me, what are you doing? And you know what? I don't mind correlating with them because in the same way, I get ideas off of them too. So anyways, 11:02, you guys, love you. It was a fast half hour. Thank you, Chrissy and Autumn. You guys did amazing. That was exactly what I wanted to be able to bring out there. It's a new year, you guys, and make sure that you're setting new goals, not resolutions. We don't want things that are going to fail. We want things that you are actually going to achieve. And you know what? Let's do this together. Reach out to your mentor, whoever that might be, and let them know what your goals are. Start with your map and let's go. Tiana and I are going to start doing this as soon as our house is finished. So it's going to be a couple more months. We are actually going to start doing competitions where we fly a coach out here every month. So every month it's either going to be going to their house and start doing things, or we're going to fly coaches here. But we want to be able to spend time with them. We want to take them to the beach and take them to the amusement park. That's why we bought a stinking 12-passenger van, so we can have party vans. That's why we bought a house, only so we could have people come and see us and we could build that one-on-one time. Okay? We don't know what every month is probably going to be a different type of I wouldn't say competition as much as ways to earn it, and then it'll become a drawing. So it's going to have to be probably throughout my whole organization because it's hard to just narrow it down to two lines of business. But be ready for that because it's going to be fun. And I mean, if you saw my post last week, taking my brother-in-law around, that's what it's going to be like. We're going to see how long you guys can stay. If you can stay, we'll probably pay for you and your husband or you and your spouse, I guess. Scott, sorry. But be ready for it because that's something that we want to do. And we also want to start getting out and flying to your guys' areas and start doing like healthy happy hours and stuff with you guys. So let's work on that. Keep that in the back of your mind. Those of you that are coming down here in March, my house isn't going to be done yet, but we're not too far from the port. So you want to come a day earlier, a day earlier or so? I'm going to say 2 days, but I still only on concrete floors and studded walls. So. All right, everyone. We love y'all. We'll talk to you later. Bye.